to decolonize the mindset. To overthrow the regime in Upper Volta, it might not be necessary to bring in heavily armed mercenaries. It is simply enough to prohibit the import of champagne or lipstick, I don't know, or nail polish. That's enough to overthrow us. Because the petty bourgeoisie today is convinced that they cannot do without these products. Well, we need to work to decolonize the mindset. We are working to recondition our people to accept living as they are, not to be ashamed of their realities, to be content with them, and even to take pride in them. It's fine if others live like that, but it's normal for us to live differently.
Charismatic, fearless, and revolutionary Thomas Sankara remains one of Africa's most iconic leaders. A soldier who became a president, a revolutionary who dared to dream, but his vision would make him powerful enemies, and ultimately cost him his life. Often called the Che Guevara of Africa, Sankara transformed his nation in just 4 years, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire millions across the continent. This is the story of the man who dared to dream of a new Africa. This is the story of Thomas Sankara, the hero of Burkina Faso. Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara was born on December 21, 1949 in Upper Volta, a French colony, today known as Burkina Faso. Thomas Sankara grew up in a land shackled by poverty and colonial legacies. From an early age, he showed discipline and intelligence. His family encouraged him to pursue education, but young Thomas felt drawn to the military. After joining the army, Sankara trained in Madagascar, where he quickly rose through the ranks, admired for his discipline, intelligence, and charisma. Unlike many soldiers of his time, Sankara wasn't just interested in power. He was interested in change. He witnessed student uprisings and growing calls for independence across Africa. These experiences shaped his political ideology. He began to read deeply Marx, Lenin, Fanon, and he soon envisioned a nation free from corruption, imperialism, and poverty. In 1983, at just 33 years old, Sankara seized power through a coup d'état with the support of his comrades, declaring a revolution. Overnight, he became Africa's youngest president. He immediately renamed the country Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, a declaration that his people would live with dignity and pride. As president, Sankara wasted no time. He slashed government salaries, sold off luxury cars, and traveled in a simple Renault 5, the cheapest car in Burkina Faso at the time. Sankara rejected foreign aid, urging Africans to rely on their own resources.
L'aide alimentaire, pourquoi?
L'aide alimentaire que nous avons reçue, malheureusement, au lieu de nous aider à nous développer, nous a maintenus dans une mentalité d'assister. Chaque jour, on tend la main pour demander à manger. Ça, c'est mauvais. Deuxièmement, l'aide alimentaire fait que les paysans de chez nous qui auraient pu produire ne peuvent plus produire parce que quand ils produisent, ils n'arrivent plus à vendre. C'est les surplus des paysans des autres pays qu'on nous amène ici. Nous, nous demandons autre chose. Celui qui veut nous aider vraiment peut nous donner des charrues ou des tracteurs, des engrais, des insecticides, des tuyaux, des arrosoirs, des barrages, des forages. Voilà, ça c'est de l'aide alimentaire. Mais celui qui nous amène les sacs de blé, de mil, de maïs ou du lait.
He launched nationwide vaccination campaigns, planted millions of trees to fight desertification, and built schools and hospitals across the country. Women were given unprecedented rights, forced marriages were banned, polygamy discouraged, and women appointed to leadership roles. In just a few years, literacy rose, child mortality dropped, and hope spread across the land. Sankara's message was clear: Africa must depend on itself, not foreign aid. Sankara lived simply. He rode a bicycle or drove a modest car, cut his own salary, and sold off government luxuries. He spoke boldly against imperialism, corruption, and the exploitation.
La France, nous la trouvons très française.
C'est-à-dire?
C'est-à-dire qu'elle ressemble aux autres politiques françaises. Hier, la France était dans tel ou tel pays d'Afrique pour soit maintenir un chef, un dirigeant, un hôtelier, soit pour débarquer d'une caravelle, un autre que l'on emportait avec soi. Aujourd'hui encore, la France procède ainsi. La politique africaine de la France, nous la trouvons très française.
C'est-à-dire?
C'est-à-dire qu'elle ressemble aux autres politiques françaises.
His fiery speeches inspired millions across the continent. To many, he became a symbol of what African leadership could be: honest, fearless, and revolutionary. But not everyone welcomed Sankara's vision. His rejection of foreign aid angered powerful Western nations. His radical reforms challenged traditional elites. And even within his government, allies began to fear his growing influence. Unlike many African leaders, Sankara openly challenged the West and international financial institutions. He rejected loans from the IMF and World Bank, warning that debt was a new form of colonialism. At the Organization of African Unity Summit in 1987, he boldly urged African nations to unite and refuse to pay colonial debts. His fiery speeches made him beloved by the people, but also dangerous to foreign powers and local elites who benefited from corruption. On October 15, 1987, Thomas Sankara was assassinated in a coup led by his former friend and comrade, Blaise Compaoré. The dream of a self-reliant Burkina Faso was cut short. Sankara was just 37 years old. Sankara was only 37 years old, yet in that short time, he had changed the face of his country and inspired a continent. Today, decades after his death, Thomas Sankara remains a legend. Murals of his face adorn cities across Africa. His speeches are still quoted by activists fighting for justice, freedom, and dignity. He ruled for only 4 years, but his vision continues to inspire generations. Today, Thomas Sankara is remembered as a symbol of integrity, resistance, and African unity. His vision of self-reliance and social justice continues to echo in movements across Africa and beyond. Though his life was cut short, his dream of a free and independent Africa lives on in the hearts of millions. Thomas Sankara once said, "While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill ideas." His ideas remain alive, fueling the hope of a better Africa.